with a number of high-profile quarterback transfers I'm not saying that word, these last few months. Which of them will be the most successful this year? Stats, wins, however you wish to rank them. I'm not ready to rank them yet, but I will obviously tell you Caleb Williams is up here. I mean, what would USC football be, even if you had Lincoln Riley? What would USC football be if he did not also bring along Caleb Williams? Far be it for me to suggest they were a package deal now. We all know how dirty an allegation that is. But Caleb Williams is obviously a big-time player here. He was the number one player overall in the transfer portal. You see Quinn Ewers there second. Going to talk about him in a second. Spencer Rattler also, since we're talking about the Oklahoma theme there. Spencer Rattler is a massive boost, not only at the position of quarterback for South Carolina, but remember when that headline came down. To me, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, I still don't think in this entire transfer portal cycle we had a bigger boom moment than Spencer Rattler going to South Carolina. That one just came out of nowhere. Now, I'm sure in the comment section someone's going to mention one that will make me go, oh, yeah, that one. But listen, even if there are some comparable, that was way up there. That was a big deal. And he came with Stogner, the tight end. I think that happened a couple days later. But Spencer Rattler is going to be a very big deal. It's a big deal in terms of on-field performance and perception of program for South Carolina. Quinn Ewers is going to be, barring injury, one of my old phrases down in Columbus I used on radio all the time when I made a prediction was, barring something unforeseen, this will happen. And anytime it didn't happen, I would say something unforeseen came up. Well, barring something unforeseen, Quinn Ewers is going to be the starting quarterback for Texas. Maybe Hudson Card beats him out, a la something unforeseen. But as for now, we're going to roll the dice with Quinn Ewers. This could be the difference in several games this fall for Texas. Just state it very clearly like it is. There could be wild fluctuation in the best, worst, and most likely record scenarios for the Longhorns. That guy's going to be pulling the trigger at quarterback. That will be a must-watch team every week if Quinn Ewers is the quarterback for Texas, because he's also got guys calling plays for him, a guy calling plays for him that I just told you about, 50 minutes ago or so, I thought was the best coordinator in college football when he was at Alabama, and still very well may be the best player caller in college football. Just got to have the ingredients, and he's getting more and more of them. What about Max Johnson, that former left-handed quarterback there at LSU who is now at Texas A&M? Am I the biggest fan of interdivision transfers? No, I'm not. Do people in college football really care what I think right now? Also, no. So forget about what I think. He's there, and he's an Aggie now. And there is some semi-smart money in College Station exiting spring that would lead you to believe maybe he's the favorite to win the job. That's not even remotely settled, and so that's not even guided information. That's just kind of a couple of people talking out there around the program. Haynes King's going to figure heavily into that, but he's not a transfer. Max Johnson is. And Max Johnson is the kind of guy who adds another player you can win with. It's not just cluttering up the quarterback room and hoping no one transfers so we can have some decent depth. That's a guy you can win with. You've already seen him win in this division, no less. So Max Johnson's up there. Go back to Oklahoma for a second. Dylan Gabriel, who will absolutely be the starting quarterback there, that transfer, that's quietly, not in Norman, it's not quite in Norman, but nationally, that's one of the biggest transfers in the sport this past cycle. If Dylan Gabriel is not at Oklahoma, what is Oklahoma football this year? They swung and missed on Jackson Dart. Maybe they would have landed Dart if they didn't have Gabriel. My point is, he's one of the most important players in that position, is one of the biggest boom or bust position groups this year for contending teams. There's a lot of weight on his shoulders this year, and I look forward to watching him play too. I also look forward to watching what kind of style they try and employ out there at Oklahoma. That's still the favorite in the Big 12. You've seen all the churn and all the players leaving. Still the odds-on favorite to win the Big 12. We mentioned Jackson Dart there at Ole Miss. That, as of the end of spring, was not a settled quarterback battle. He and Luke Altmaier are still tangled up in a legitimate quarterback battle there. I think that it will end up being Jackson Dart. I'll tell you this, I'm going to talk more about it because this is not a running back segment. We are overlooking one of the biggest transfers in America this past cycle. It's not Jackson Dart. He's one of them. I'm telling you, Zach Evans is being overlooked right now, that running back, formerly of TCU, now of Ole Miss. Zach Evans could be the best tailback in the SEC this year. And he's in Oxford, Mississippi, and I hadn't heard, I can't believe I'm going to say this word, nary a person talking about him as of late, which is hypocritical because I sit here 3 nights a week with a mic in front of my face. So we're going to talk about Zach Evans more. JT Daniels also, we talked about him earlier in the show, transferred to West Virginia. We think, for better or for worse, that's going to be West Virginia's starting quarterback. It is very intoxicating when you watch the best of JT Daniels, when you watch highlight film of JT Daniels. No one's questioning his upside. It's the consistency in performance. Is he able to get all the way back, and is he able to perform at a consistently high enough level for West Virginia? Hope he is. That's the great unknown there with West Virginia football. So those are some of the transfer quarterbacks that we're looking at. That's going to be, every year now moving forward, the transfer quarterback picture, that just has perennially an opportunity to upend the landscape of college football any given year.